Once upon a time, in the Igbo land, in a small village called Umuchi, there lived a kind and hardworking woman named Adaora. She was beautiful, strong, and always helped others, but there was one thing people always whispered about her. She could not have children. This made Adaora very sad, but she never gave up. In the village, people often mocked her. They would say things like, Adaora has no children to call her own, or Adaora's home is empty, no baby to cry in her house. The women in the village would gossip behind her back, and even the children would laugh at her. Adaora heard all their cruel words, but she kept her head high and kept working hard. One hot afternoon, as Adaora was working in her garden, the village chief, Chief Okoro, walked by with his son, Ugo. They were talking loudly, and Adaora could hear them clearly. Chief Okoro looked at Adaora and shook his head. "It's a shame, a beautiful woman like her with no children," he said. Ugo, the chief's son, agreed. "Yes, father, she has no child. It's a sign that the gods have rejected her." Adaora felt the sting of their words deep in her heart, but she did not say anything. Instead, she focused on her work, hoping that one day the gods would smile on her and give her a child. Days went by, and the mocking continued. One day, after a long day of work, Adaora went to the village stream to fetch water. As she filled her jar, some of the women from the village gathered around her. They started talking loudly, laughing at Adaora. "Adaora, when will you have a child? Maybe the gods are angry with you," one woman said, giggling. Adaora stood silently, trying to hold back tears. But just as she was about to leave, an old woman appeared from behind the trees. The old woman had a long, white robe and a wise, kind face. Her eyes sparkled as she looked at Adaora. "Child, why do you look so sad?" she asked gently. Adaora looked up at the old woman and spoke softly. "The people in the village mock me because I have no children. They say the gods have forgotten me." The old woman smiled and patted Adaora's hand. "The gods never forget, my child. Your time will come. Do not listen to the words of others. The power to change your life is in your hands." Adaora was surprised by the old woman's words. She felt a warmth inside her heart and a glimmer of hope. "Thank you, wise woman," Adaora said, bowing her head. The old woman nodded and disappeared into the trees as quickly as she had come. Adaora stood there for a long time, thinking about what the woman had said. She knew that she could not keep listening to the cruel words of others. She had to stay strong and believe that one day, her dream would come true. Months passed and the mocking never stopped. But Adaora worked hard every day, helping her neighbors, taking care of her garden, and keeping her house neat and clean. One morning, as she was walking to the market to sell some vegetables, she felt a strange sensation in her stomach. She thought it was just the result of all her hard work, but the feeling did not go away. She decided to go to the village healer to see what was wrong. The healer, an old woman named Neka, looked at Adaora carefully. "You are with child, Adaora," she said, her voice filled with wonder. Adaora's eyes widened in shock. "Are you sure, Neka?" she asked. The healer nodded. "I am sure. You will have a child." Adaora felt a rush of joy fill her heart. She could hardly believe it. After all the years of mocking, the gods had finally heard her prayers. She thanked Neka and hurried back to her house to tell her husband Chijioke the good news. Chijioke was overjoyed when he heard that Adaora was pregnant. "We are blessed, Adaora," he shouted, lifting her up in his arms. "Our dream has finally come true." Adaora smiled, feeling the weight of the years of waiting lift off her shoulders. But the news of her pregnancy soon spread throughout the village, and the people who had once mocked her were now shocked. They could hardly believe that Adaora, the woman they had laughed at, was going to have a child. One day, as Adaora was walking through the village, a group of women stopped her. They stared at her in surprise. "Adaora," one woman said, "is it true? Are you really pregnant?" Adaora smiled proudly. "Yes, it is true," she said, her voice filled with confidence. "I am going to be a mother." The women stared at her for a long time, their mouths open in disbelief. They had all laughed at her, but now they were ashamed of themselves. They had mocked the very woman who had been chosen by the gods. A few days later, Chief Okoro invited Adaora and her husband to a feast to celebrate her pregnancy. The whole village gathered to celebrate, and Adaora was the guest of honor. As she entered the chief's compound, the villagers watched her with respect, no longer mocking her. Chief Okoro stood up and raised his cup in the air. Let us all raise our cups to Adaora, who has proven that patience and faith in the gods will always be rewarded. May she have many children and live a long, happy life. The people clapped and cheered. Adaora felt proud and grateful. She had shown them that no matter how difficult life was, she could overcome anything. The mocking had hurt, but she had stayed strong, and now she was going to be a mother. Soon Adaora's baby arrived. It was a beautiful baby girl, with bright eyes and a smile that could light up the whole village. Adaora named her Ngozi, which means blessing in the Igbo language. The villagers were amazed at how happy and peaceful Adaora looked with her baby in her arms. They came to her house to offer gifts and congratulations. They no longer mocked her, and instead, they respected her for her strength and faith. Adaora and Chijioke raised their daughter with love and care, and they were blessed with many more children in the years that followed. The village of Umuchi became a place where people respected each other, no matter their struggles, and Adaora's story was passed down from generation to generation as a reminder of the power of patience, faith, and resilience. And so, Adaora, the woman who had once been mocked, became a symbol of hope and strength in her village. Her story showed everyone that no matter what others say, if you stay strong and keep believing, good things will come to you. Today, let's talk about the life lessons from this story. 1. Be patient. Even when things are tough, stay patient and keep going. Good things will come in time. 2. Don't let others' opinions affect you. People may talk, but don't let their words define who you are. 3. Have faith and hope. Believe in yourself and trust that good things can happen, even when things seem impossible. 4. Stay strong. Strength comes from within. Keep pushing forward, even when life is hard. 5. Good things take time. Be patient. Sometimes the best things come when you least expect them. Thank you for watching, and please kindly subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so, and also like, comment, and share. And if you have any questions, please drop it on the comment section. Thank you. See you on the next one.